Hey everybody, I'm Josh and welcome to another episode of Just Sayin. Thank you. On the show today, it's going to be a jam-packed show. It's going to be maybe a shorter length show than normal, but I have a lot of stuff to cover here in my host chat, so we're going to get going. And I'm going to start off by answering the question, what is Josh drinking? And today on the show, ladies and gentlemen, shocker or not, I'm drinking some good old Mountain Dew. That's right. PepsiCo. Please. So, for those of you who didn't notice, I started with that. Normally I do my host chat first. But I woke up... Okay, so, in order to explain today's show, I have to go back. I have to tell you a couple of stories that are totally not related to each other, but we'll wiggle back to where they are. So, I planned, when I started planning this season out, I was at holidayinsights.com, and I was looking at June, and if you look at June, there's like a total of, between the monthly, the weekly, and the daily observances, there was maybe 15, 20 tops. But with the weekly holiday and with what the one holiday was this week, I was bouncing back and forth, and I was like, this one just kept popping out at me, and I'm like, fine, I'll do that. It's the lamest one of the two. I don't know how I'm going to make it work or make it funny. We'll just go with it. I'll figure it out later. So, jump ahead to 3 weeks ago. I sat down to start working on the show, and I'm sitting at a blank script, and I'm like, here's the theme. How can I make it work? And sat there for maybe 10 minutes just staring at a blank screen until this story popped into my head. And here's the story. Now we're going to rewind, or fast forward 2 years ago. So I was at one of my old jobs. I was manager. It was between the 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. time. And the only reason I remember that is because it was after our initial lunch rush, but before our dinner shift change. And we were maybe about a half a mile from 3 medical complexes. So we got customers between 2 and 4 all the time, coming from doctor's appointments that had been fasting all day or whatnot. And so it wasn't anything like as of now, there was nothing out of the ordinary for this day. And so this lady and her husband came in, and I sat them. I noticed, like, when she walked in that she was distraught, like she had been crying, that she was upset. I didn't say anything to them. I went over, sat them, they ordered. I kept noticing, like, she'd brush her eyes away, so without even saying anything, I just picked up and I just took over a napkin, set it on the table, and walked away. And at one point, her husband had gotten up to go to the bathroom, and I was doing my rounds, stopping at each table, seeing how things were going, and stopped at their table, and we just started talking, like just a random conversation. And so her husband came back. We talked another maybe 20 minutes. I left. They stayed there for another maybe 30 minutes. And before they left, she came up to me and she's like, is there a manager I can speak with? I said, well, I'm the manager. She's like, well, then is there any way I can get a hold of the owner? I'm like, why, was there an issue? And she's like, no. She's like, we stopped in here after my husband's doctor's appointment where we found out that he's got stage 4 cancer. I can't remember what kind of cancer. I want to say pancreatic. But he has stage 4 cancer. And she's like, you saw me crying, you brought over a napkin without saying anything. You came over, tried to make us laugh, got our minds off of it for 30 minutes. She's like, you'll never know what that meant to us. Just to not have to think about what we came in here, the news that we had just gotten. We were able to escape that for the 30 minutes that you were talking to us. And she's like, I just wanted somebody to know that as I know that it's your job to do as a manager, she's like, you're excellent at it. And so her and I had kept in touch. About about a year ago, I think. He lost his battle with cancer, and he ended up getting COVID and passing with that. But he also had, the cancer had progressed as well. Anyway, so according to our friends at holidayinsights.com, June 15th is Smile Power Day. And I wanted to point out the fact of what the power of a smile can do for someone. How me just doing my job, talking to somebody and making them smile for 30 minutes changed their entire outlook on the day. And especially with the tragic news that they had just gotten. And so I challenge you guys. I challenge you to, and I realize you're not going to watch this, obviously, the day I post it, because it was supposed to be posted yesterday, which I'll get to here in just a minute. But I challenge you, the day after you watch this, to go out and make 5 random people smile. They cannot be your friends. They cannot be your coworkers. They cannot be people you would normally hang out with and laugh and joke around with. If you're in a drive-thru, buy somebody's meal that's behind you. If it's not $5,000 worth of food. Unless you want to and can afford that. Buy somebody a water. Take a homeless person some food. Just do something to make that one person or those 5 people smile. Because you never know how it can change their day. I remember one time, just a quick story that just popped into my head. I was living in Dallas. And my parents came down to visit. And we had gone to, I want to say Hard Rock Cafe. And we were walking back to the car. And as we were walking to Hard Rock, I had noticed, and I didn't know if anyone in my family else had noticed this. It was me, the sister I was living with, and my mom and dad. And I don't know if they noticed it, but on the way to the restaurant, I noticed, like, up on a staircase by a door, and it was maybe a Saturday, so it wasn't slammed downtown Dallas, you know what I mean, like it would be on a Saturday. But there was a homeless man sleeping up there, and so we go into the restaurant, we eat. I don't eat much anyway, so I had to cut my sandwich in half, and was going to take it home. And when we got up to the homeless person, I kind of just walked up, put it down, and as I got down the steps, I kind of stumbled because I'm an idiot. And I glanced back, and he had the biggest smile on his face. One person's struggle can change just by you making them smile. Or by you helping them out just a little bit. I'm not saying it has to be millions of dollars, or it can be a half a sandwich, and you make someone smile. So, again, go out, make 5 random people smile, people you don't know. And I want to hear the stories. Next week, I'm going to put up my Twitter along at the close, like I put up my TikTok, my email. And I want to hear your story. Please use the hashtag SmilePowerChallenge, and we will try to get it going. Again, SmilePowerChallenge. Try and make 5 people, complete strangers, smile and change their day without saying, "Did I change your day?" Just do it. Because especially with everything going on in the world right now, not just in our country, but in the entire world, we need more smiling. We need more happiness. We need more caring. Not people with their thumb up their asses being very selfish, which we have to admit, people have become very selfish in the last 10 years. And only concerned for themselves. Let's start to change that. Hashtag SmilePowerChallenge. We're going to get it going. So yeah, we're going to do it. So I apologize that I didn't get this episode out on time. And amongst all of that, when that was happening, when I was writing the show, there was just like, when I sit down to do my shows, like I try to pick segments that would be like, okay, that's why he chose it. But nothing really goes with Smile Power Day. And with Mother's Day we had just done, and next week's Father's Day, And there was another holiday where I used pictures of people. I can't use the same segment every time. So I try to like rotate them in and try to work each segment out into the theme, if that makes sense. And I wrote the show. It took me about a week to write one show. And then the next week I was rehearsing it and it just, something wasn't right. And so I swapped something from next week's episode and this week's episode and swapped it, and it kind of worked a little bit better. And I couldn't get it perfect. And so I had a 3-day weekend this weekend. We have a girl out on maternity leave. We have a couple people on and getting ready to go on vacation. And I'm just really busy at work, so I really didn't have the time to focus on filming and working out the kinks of the show, which sometimes I do completely flawlessly. Like, you guys don't know how I do this. Like, if I had a camera to show you what all I do to put a show together. And this one was just driving me nuts because, to be honest, there really was no holiday to do. I had to pick one of the two. And yeah, so I was like, you know what? I finally got the show to a point where I wanted it. And I was like, okay, I'm off Saturday. I'm off Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I'll film it Saturday, post it Sunday, and work on 10 Monday. It's Monday, and it's not posted. I woke up Saturday, and it was like someone turned on my drainage faucet and would not stop. I was nauseous. I couldn't keep anything down because of all the draining into my stomach. And so finally I started taking this medicine, just normal Dayquil, but it was kind of working too hard. And then everything would get stuck and I would get a migraine. And out of the last 48 hours, I probably slept 35 of them. Like, I just had absolutely no energy to do anything. I would come out, sit at my desk, and just be like this. And don't get me wrong, I tried to film. Because I do that for you guys. I sacrifice. But I couldn't get it right, especially because I was sick. So today's show is only going to have 2 segments in it. I finally found the segment that was killing the theme. Ironically, it was mugshots, and I just said killing the theme. Anyway. But we are going to only have 2 segments today, which is totally fine because we're already 15 minutes in, and I haven't even gotten to my jokes yet. So, I mean, it kind of all worked out. It's just been a rough 3 days. I'm just going to be happy when my computer says, "You have posted your video." Smile Power Challenge. Hashtag it, people. Hashtag Smile Power Challenge. Moving along. If you didn't notice, I got new hardware on my desk. That's alright. This time I'm the master of music, according to Mason Kelter and Party Liveline. Because I have no random knowledge. That's right. I'm just that smart, everyone. It's all up here. I don't know why I know the random shit that I know. For example, I'm going to try and make this story quick because we are 5 minutes over. But when I was about 20 or 21, I was living with one of my sisters, and my cousin and then girlfriend, now wife, would come over. We'd get together maybe once every 3 months and have a game night. And it was kind of an unspoken war of guys versus girls. And so everything we played, it was guys versus girls. This particular night, we were playing Trivial Pursuit, and we were both had our pie pieces filled. We were racing to get to the middle. My cousin and I got to the middle, and the question, I can't remember exactly how it was worded, but it was something along the lines of, these 3 chefs known for what name are known under one name for their canned pasta. And I have no idea why I know this. I have no idea where I obtained this knowledge, but it was Chef Boyardee. It's a combination of the 2 or 3 chefs involved in the recipes. Yeah, Chef Boyardee. I don't know where I get this information. It's just up here. I don't know why I know or where I would have learned that rubber bands last longer after they've been in the freezer. I don't know why I would know that, but I do. I just know random stuff. And so I set myself a challenge to see how many of these damn trophies I can get. And I'm going to start a trophy case of them, not because I'm a professional athlete and I win a lot of championships, but because I know random shit. That's right. Watch out, Mason Kelter. I'm taking all of your trophies. So, anyway. I'm going to skip talking about that because we're way over time. I do want to make sure you guys follow me on TikTok. I will post it at the end of the show. I'm supposed to do a little bit here where I pretend like not to tell you that there's a contest going to be during the 5-week break I'll get into next week. But follow me on TikTok. You'll get all the information next week. I'm trying to hurry this along because, I'm over time. Anyway, so look at that. It's time to start making you guys smile with my first sketch that I premiered last week, and it really made me smile. It's time for me to answer the question, is that too far? And here's how it works. For those of you who don't know, I have a list of about 20 jokes that I have in some way wrote or had a way of writing them and changing them up a little bit to make them work for me. And every time, and I have a dark sense of humor, so I don't know what really crosses that line. So every time I read a joke, I'm going to ask the member of the FCC, the Federal Communication Commission, sitting right over there, if the joke has gone too far. If you hear this noise, that means the joke has gone too far, and we have to end the sketch immediately. It could be after the first joke, 5th joke, 19th joke, but after the 20th, I don't care because I don't have any more than 20. That's going to be fun to say every time I do this sketch. You know that, right? All right, here we go. New technology is said to be underway that would help spot shoplifters, or as CVS calls them, black people. Is that too far? Ooh, fingers hovering. Fingers hovering. Better calm it down. According to a new study, teenagers raised by lesbian moms do just as well, if not better, than teenagers raised by straight parents, but they can't dress for shit. Is that too far? Oh, he's laughing. He liked that one. Arkansas Senator Tom Cotton stated that he wouldn't mind being Donald Trump's running mate. I have to say it'd be very interesting to have the most racist presidential candidate ever end up picking Cotton. Oh, no! That sound means that joke went just a little too far, and we have to end the sketch immediately. But hey, it was a funny joke. Anyway. But don't you fret. Don't fret, because there's more jokes right now in this week's edition of Another Cheesy Monologue. June is LGBTQ plus Pride Month, so as usual, I went to latenightLOL.com and in the search bar typed in gay. All of the jokes, while outdated, I'm sorry, let me start that over. There were over 400 jokes, so while outdated all month long, all the jokes will be about the gay community, which I'm proud to be a member of. Hold on tight. Here we go. Studies are showing that the Republican candidates are buying a lot of ad time on the Weather Channel, and you can tell this is true because last night the meteorologist blamed a cold front on immigration and gay marriage. It's true. It's true. Did you guys hear about this one? Pennsylvania, a 13-year-old boy was forced to help his mother give birth to his sister. When asked to comment, the boy said, "Well, now I'm gay." Ruined me for life. A prominent gay conservative said that he's leaving the Republican Party because he now believes it is intolerant. Friends describe the gay conservative as slow to notice things. Kind of like me sometimes. In an effort to include the gay community, Facebook added 2 new relationship status options called in a civil union and in a domestic partnership. Then, to make sure they didn't miss anyone else, they added a new one called, well, there was that time in college. Gay marriage is now legal in the UK, which is why today Camilla asked Prince Charles, "Can I take this damn dress off now?" It's time now for my joke of the week. And I have to say, for the second time all season, it's a good one. It is being reported that Kanye West will have a gay love scene in an upcoming movie. The scene will feature Kanye West in a mirror. And a mirror. Because he loves himself. I love that joke. During a recent interview, former President Jimmy Carter said that someday soon, Americans could elect their first gay president. Then he winked, put on some lipstick, and said, or maybe you already have. Here's a follow-up joke to one I told last week. Cher said she will not be performing at the next year's Winter Olympics in Russia because of Russia's anti-gay policies. Also because she wasn't asked. Might have a big influence. Might, just a little bit. New York City is currently holding... Hold on. Excuse me. New York City is currently holding a lottery for gay couples hoping to get married. State officials will choose 4 lucky balls, but they're not sure how the lottery will work. Sorry, I was looking for a cough drop. I put them further away than I thought. And finally, a new study shows that lesbians are 14 times more likely to orgasm during sex. Also orgasming during lesbian sex, men. I went there. Not that I would know, but... Anyway. So, the first thing I like to do when I'm down on myself, and want to make myself happier, let's be real, I go to peopleofwalmart.com. Now, I have to... Over 21 only. Over 18, I'll say. Only. Some of these pictures are yeah. And the only thing I can think of to say about this to you guys is, sorry, not sorry. You know my golden rule. That's right. It's time for another edition of The Things You Can't Unsee. It's good for the soul. If you're ever down on I kid you not. If you're ever down on yourself, go to peopleofwalmart.com and just cruise around. You'll feel instantly better. I'm not trying to pick on anyone. It just always makes me laugh. But in these pictures, I kind of threw up a lot, too. So, this first one, now, I might be gay, but I know nothing about fashion. Being colorblind kind of does that to a gay guy. I really don't care about fashion. But, never, ever have I heard of a fashion where women are wearing, I don't know if it's see-through or pantyhose as their pants. And if you're among this trend, great. You guys do you. Judgment-free zone right here. I don't care. Just call me Planet Fitness. Without the fitness. Call me Planet. But don't wear your Hello Kitty underwear. I don't know what color of underwear you would wear. It definitely shouldn't be Hello Kitty. And maybe try and wear something not see-through. So then we don't even have to have this discussion. Now this next picture is the cleanest picture I found. Okay? It's really an interesting picture. I don't know how street legal they are. But it looks, how would you like to be driving down the road and see this coming up next to you? They're motor scooters with recliners on them. It's a very clever idea. Just don't know how street legal it is. Now, have you ever done something that you regretted? Now I ask you, have you ever done something permanently that you regretted? The only reason, there could be 2 possible reasons. And when I found this picture, I'm like, why would this person do this? And I came up with 2 reasons. The only 2 in the entire world that someone would do this. 1, because it's self-advertising their personal business. Or 2, they were shit-ass drunk. No other reason for someone to get "fuck me" tattooed on their legs. Could be a personal business that they're trying to promote. I don't know. Judgment-free zone. You do you. Just like this guy. I remember hearing this trend, and no guy out there will admit this, but I do remember hearing a trend of straight guys wearing women's underwear because they felt it was more freeing and flowing and blah, 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 blah. Well, it's kind of a private thing. Might not want to show people. Or tell people. Keep that between you and your pants. Now, I hate clothes shopping. It always, because I'm colorblind, it always sends me into a panic attack. That's why I just have people buy me Christmas and birthday presents of clothes and make sure that they're wrapped together so I'll know what goes together. They still don't do it, but whatever. It's the thought that counts. Anyway, my mom, I'm almost 40 years old. My mom still has to drag me by the ear to go clothes shopping. But as a human being, as an adult, as a consciously thinking human being that can foresee things not being right, if I'm not a size 10, I'm not going to wear a size 10. Just because you want to be doesn't make you. Now, this next one, I don't know what to say about this one. I just don't know. Just enjoy the picture. Like, could you not have waited 30 seconds to ask for help? Or gone down to the either end of the aisle and looked for someone to help you? Now, again, with this damn see-through pants. But ladies, you're going to have to help me out here. And I say that rhetorically. I really don't want to know why. But is there a reason that this woman would have a rope in her pants? I want to know if there's a reason, but I don't want to know the reason, if there is one. Now, the more and more I look at this picture, it irritates me. At your own home, you're either in a wheelchair or you're in a cart of your own, little mobile cart running around the house, zooming around. But you still have to get up from your own cart or wheelchair to get into the car because you're clearly in a Walmart cart. Motorized cart. She's not like in, someone's not pushing her in a cart. But at what point do you not notice from getting up to get in the car, getting out of the car and getting up and going to the cart, that your pants are halfway down? Like, seriously, there's no excuse for that. And you guys know my golden rule about this segment. If I have to see it, you have to see it. Just not sure what it is. And no, ladies and gentlemen, this next picture is not a big giant tampon. It's a pool float. But don't worry, we know that it absorbs water very well. Moving right along. So, I thought to myself, you know what? It's going to be Father's Day. Let's honor my dad a little bit. So I said, Dad, it's going to be Father's Day. I want to honor you a little bit. What's your favorite segment on my show? My dad said, You have a show? That tells me his favorite segment on this show is, I'm sorry everybody, but I think I smell smoke, which can mean one of two things. Either Taser started smoking again, or it's time for you burn. Don't you hate when your dog starts smoking? Anyway. I told you, interesting show today. So, anyway, I did it 300-400 more times, or 300 or 400 other times this season. Might as well do it one more time before the finale. I actually had this in the finale, and then flopped it out. I don't know. Anyway, I have a lot of topics to sizzle through and not a lot of time. Let's get started. First up, exit polls. Hey, exit polls. You want to know who I voted for? I voted for your mama. If I wanted an inaccurate guess at who I think is going to win the election, I would just ask Huffington Post. Sideburn HuffPo. Also, stop hanging around the outside of elementary school, you creeps. You're like R. Kelly without the microphone, but with a lot more fans. Sideburn R. Kelly. Exit polls. Exit on out of here. Yeah, burn. Scented candles. Hey kids, do you love the smell of fresh baked cookies but hate the hassle of eating and enjoying them? Try a scented candle. Nothing's worse than walking into a kitchen to the smell of a fresh baked apple pie and find out that it's just a big ball of wax. Also, I'm trying to cover up the fact that I cooked fish, not make it smell like the fish died eating gingerbread cookies. Also, how in the hell do you know what a brisk summer breeze smells like here in Podunk, Illinois? Because where I'm from, it smells like rotten pumpkins and pig farms. But you're probably not going to sell many of them candles, are you? Scented candles, just like your wick, you burn. Luggage carousels. You're not a carousel. Carousels are supposed to be fun. You're just annoying. If I wanted to see something go this slowly, I'd just go to the old folks' home during bingo night. Also, why are we all lining up by the chute? We just spent 3 hours together on a cramped plane, and we're trying to shave off the last 15 seconds. And can we please talk about that weird box over there wrapped in saran wrap? I'm pretty sure I heard a muffled scream come from inside of it, and it's been unattended for like an hour. Yet I left my bag upstairs in the bathroom for 5 minutes and got strip searched. Luggage carousels, keep on moving, cuz you burn. V-neck sweaters. For the guy who thinks this shirt could for the guy who thinks this shirt could use just a little bit more visible chest hair and undershirt. Seriously, what are you for? I can't remember a time that I thought to myself, gee, my torso and arms are freezing, but my clavicles are nice and toasty. Why are you showing just my neck? You are the assless chaps of sweaters. V-neck sweaters, see you next time. You burn. Speaking of horrible fashion choices, let's talk about the fingerless gloves. The assless chaps of winter clothing. You are like headless condoms. No sensation, absolutely no protection. I have never heard anyone say to me, it's so cold my palms are freezing. Hey, fingerless gloves, my fingers may be frozen, but you burn. Chewing tobacco. Perfect for people who love nicotine but hate having gums. I'm sorry. Smoking is great, but I wish there was a more disgusting way to do it. Oh, I know! How about we eat the cigarette and then spit it into a Coke can all day while we're at Six Flags? Smoking is terrible for your health, but it looks a lot better than a wad between your teeth and your lips like this. Hey, chewing tobacco, you may be smokeless, but you still burn. Stuffing. Let's call you what you really are, a bunch of chewed up bread that spent days in a turkey's ass. Could you be any drier? Is your secret ingredient sand? Also, quit trying to choke me. I'm not your Tinder date, sideburn Tinder. Stuffing. Go stuff yourself. You burnt. Dolce & Gabbana. You are two gay men with one of the biggest fashion houses in the world, and you just came out against gay families. How can you own a fashion house and be against gay families? That's like an owner of an NBA team not wanting black people at his game. Sideburn Donald Sterling. Also, if you really messed up pissing off Elton John, there go half of your sunglass sales. Don't you know how many gay couples name their 2 dogs Dolce and Gabbana? All of them. Dolce and Gabbana? More like Dolce and ya burn. Apple Watch. If you've been waiting for an Apple product you could potentially destroy while washing your hands, I got great news for you. It's for all those times you looked at your phone and thought, I wish you were a lot smaller and harder to operate. What time is it? Oh yeah, time to look like a douchebag. Move over, Livestrong bracelets. There's a new way for your wrist to look like an asshole. Sideburn Lance Armstrong. Apple Watch. The time is... Yubert. Robert Durst. You a creep. I don't know what's creepier, the fact that you killed 3 people or the fact that you talked to yourself while standing in a urinal with other men in the bathroom. Could you look any more like a killer? Do you just go to the barber and say, give me the murderer? Also, I don't know what is deader, your victims or the glassy stare you're giving me. If you're going to have a trial about not killing 3 people, probably don't do a documentary about how you killed 3 people. SeaWorld didn't volunteer to do Blackfish. Robert Durst, Robert Durst, not only you creepy, you burnt. Shark Week. I don't need an entire week to tell me why not to go to the beach. I have a list right here and it's got one item on it, sand. If I wanted to see a bunch of dead-eyed predators on my TV, I'd just flip over to Fox News. Sideburn Fox News. Seriously, why are we celebrating sharks? They kill us. Discovery Health doesn't have Ebola month. Also, hammerhead sharks, what's up with that weird-ass head of yours? Did your mama drink when she was pregnant with you? Shark Week! You burn. Oh, no! That sound means not only are we out of time for the segment, but for the show. Okay, I'm going to slow down talking just a minute. And I want to remind you, please, hashtag Smile Power Challenge. Let's get it going. Make 5 random people smile. Be sure to join me next week for all of the information about season 9 and the 5-week break and the more about how you can find out about more about my exclusive TikTok contest. And once again, next week I'll have my Twitter here, and I'll be posting it right now for your hashtag Smile Power Challenge stories. But if you think there's something funny I should see on share on the show, be sure to send it to me. There's my show email address as well as my TikTok that you may or may not want to follow. I can't twist your arm. If I were there with you physically, I wouldn't have to twist your arm. I'd just click subscribe for you. Anyway, I guess I can pull up the pictures before I point to nothing. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and get the notifications anytime I post one of my episodes. This is probably the best feeling I've had in 3 days, finally, or 3 weeks, finally getting this episode filmed. Anyway, be sure to join me next week for not only our Season 8 finale, as well as our 3rd annual Father's Day Spectacular or Special or whatever it is I decide to call it. And then I'm off for 5 weeks. And like I didn't say this, but just to make it clear, the only reason I'm doing that is earlier I said that we're just short-staffed and I want to be able to concentrate on work and not feel so bogged down. Anyway, so until next week, everybody, please stay safe, stay healthy, make someone smile, and make it be somebody you don't know. And until then, that's all I'm saying.